Welcome to the TikTok Podcast, a place for real conversations about Lyme disease and tick-borne illness. Hosted by Christina Murphy, Lyme advocate, educator, and vice president of the LEAF program. This podcast brings together patients, doctors, researchers, and families, working to change how Lyme is understood, treated, and prevented. These are the stories, the science, and the voices driving awareness forward.
Hi there, everybody. This is Christina Murphy, your host at Frederick TikTok over at Everything Frederick Live. This evening, I would like to introduce to you again, I want to introduce to you Travis Avery from Sawyer. Now, Sawyer's our sponsor for this talk show, and I'm very, very tickled pink about that. I've known Travis for many years now, and he's like the guy to talk to about all of these products because I have used these faithfully, and they've been tried and true. So welcome, Travis.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. This is like old home week. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the first thing to explain to the people out there? Sawyer makes wonderful products for, preventing, bug bites, repellents of different species, water filters, and all kinds of wonderful things. So how did your family get into this business?
Yeah, we consider ourselves in the outdoor protection industry. So we started in first aid and then branched into sunscreen and insect repellents. And then water filtration was actually our last category we got into, but with bug spray and water filtration being our two biggest categories. Waterborne illnesses and vector-borne illnesses are the two primary leading causes of deaths around the world. So we wanted to be able to utilize our technology to improve people's outdoor experiences.
Fantastic. Now, I wanted to tell everybody out there that your company does a lot of nonprofit work with your water filtration.
Yeah, so even though we were in the insect repellent category first, we were really proud of what our water filtrations were capable of doing. And once we realized not only what their capacity was, but their longevity was, we started to figure out how to use these exact same water filters to provide clean water around the world. So after all these years, we say we work with about 140 charities in 80 countries. And we've impacted more than 30 million lives so far.
That's amazing. That I'm so proud of being a partner with you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, and we have some new programs happening next year where we're actually being able to use our fabric-based insect repellent permethrin to reduce malaria in Africa. So the initial study is reducing malaria in these kids by about 67%, which is very significant. So we're excited to scale up. That initial scientific study has already been reported in the New England Journal of Medicine, but we're excited to be expanding that even further.
Oh, that's that. Oh, yep. Here we go. I see this. Oh,
Yeah, so basically they're using the same stuff that you can use to treat your clothing and gear with, to treat the shawls that the mothers carry their babies around in. And yes, the initial journals is showing a 67% reduction in malaria in these children.
that is fabulous. Oh my goodness. Oh, water filters. Yay.
Oh yeah. So we're um, as ticks are becoming more prevalent, it's becoming easier for us to have these conversations about how you don't necessarily need to be terrified of ticks, but you need to be aware of the growing concerns around ticks and awareness. And even if you do get bit, there are steps to take. So there's a lot of different ways you can still safely recreate here domestically. So starting next year, we'll be able to expand our domestic and international reliefs into some more insect repellents. The majority of our give back programs are through our water filtration systems.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Okay, so now that we've talked about the water filtration, let's talk more about permethrin.
Yeah.
Now, how does that work?
Yeah, so originally permethrin was developed for the U.S. military to treat their BDUs, their uniforms, and it's a odorless after drying insect repellent insecticide that's derived from the chrysanthemum flower. It is ineffective on your skin. It needs some sort of fabric to bond with. So the military originally pioneered it, and then we were able to help bring that to the civilian market with the civilian grade formula. So it is a fabric-based insect repellent that you apply to your clothing, gear, and tents, whatever you want to apply it to. And after it dries, it's completely odorless and is effective against mosquitoes and ticks for 6 weeks or 6 washes.
Perfect. That's fantastic. Now, I have with me a repellent that I use every time I go out and do crossing guard duty. And I'm going to show it here. It's called Picaridin.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell us some more about that.
Yeah, so that's actually the last topical insect repellent we added to our lineup and quickly skyrocketed to our most popular. So we always say use permethrin as a first layer of defense if you have a lot of clothing and gear you regularly wear outdoors, and then that'll cut down on the amount of topical insect repellent you'll need as well. And so the picaridin is derived from piperine in the pepper plants, and we have lotions and sprays, and it's effective against mosquitoes, ticks, and biting flies, and it's a great way to treat your exposed skin. And it's gear safe, family safe, safe for use on kids and even during pregnancy.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. So what other things can you tell us about that Sawyer creates that can help us, like with the bugs and like parasites or mosquitoes or something like that?
Sure, yeah. So depending on your area, we recommend permethrin and picaridin combination. We also have other topical insect repellents as well. Most people prefer the convenience of a spray, but I would encourage people to try our lotions formulas. They're very effective, very comfortable, and they can actually even last even longer than sprays.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a variety of different ways that you can safely treat your stuff to get outdoors. And like I said, with the picaridin, it's not going to, whether you're fishing or at a baseball game or just in the back patio, it's not going to harm any gear or equipment.
That's fantastic. So any other great things coming down the pike?
Yeah, well, I kind of led off with one of the most exciting ones, which is the permethrin treated malaria wraps. But yeah, we have some ongoing water projects. One of our ambassadors is actually just about to row across the entire Pacific Ocean. She's going to row from, I believe, Peru to Papua New Guinea, raising money for clean water for Fiji. We're donated a lot of filters domestically during Hurricane Helene and other national disasters, yes, we do primarily focus internationally where people don't have clean water access regularly.
Right.
But we are very, as a company based in Florida, we're very acutely aware of hurricane season. So that's where our water filters can make huge differences. Like a case of water might only last
Right.
you a day or two, depending on how many people you have. But a water filter, or the same amount of water filters that weigh as much as a case of water, can provide far more water for these people that have readily accessible water, as well as make it easier to transport medical and other supplies, because as we all know, water is heavy.
Right. That is true. That is true.
So we use our water filters were originally pioneered for camping and hiking, and they remove all the harmful pathogens and 100% of microplastics that can make you sick.
That's fantastic. Removes the microplastics too. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about the microplastics. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So, as I mentioned earlier, waterborne diseases are the leading cause of deaths in children under 5 around the world. So these water filters are not only improving the lives of adults, but genuinely saving lives of children. So we say whether you're buying any of our insect repellents or any of our water filters, you're helping us with our kind of global commitment. And we're very fortunate at this point to be donating 90% of our profits back into these campaigns.
That's amazing. I'm overwhelmed. That's fantastic.
Thank you. It took us, the company turned 42 this year, so it took us a while to get there. But it's very rewarding to be able to sell these top selling products that can help people get outdoors and enjoy the outdoors, as well as make such significant impacts in people's daily lives.
And that's the bottom line, is to get everybody outside.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We are meant to be outside. Being indoors is a much more recent phenomenon.
Indeed. Indeed. So, I'm kind of at a loss because we've already answered the questions that I usually ask of people, but is there any other things that we might go over that a regular family that wants to go outdoors might need to know,
well, sorry if I ran through some of my answers too quickly, but I think one of the biggest things that like we had kind of talked about before is the awareness. So ticks are at like a 14-year high. The populations have more than tripled in the past 14 years. Pardon me. Lyme disease has been discovered in all 50 states now.
Right.
What there in certain areas we might have grown up not having tick concerns, and now they are a very real issue. So what we like to say is, first is just being aware of your location and the tick prevalence. Specifically what types of ticks are in your area, whether they potentially can carry Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, maybe alpha-gal. There's a new one I just learned about today, the bourbon virus from the Lone Star tick, which supposedly has no ability to be tested or verified and tested. But the idea is ticks typically need to be latched onto you for an extended period of time to transmit the disease. And that's part of the reason why regular awareness and tick checks, especially at the end of the day, are very vital. Use your friends or use your family members, use your mirrors. And if you do have a tick embedded on you, you just want to pull it directly out via the head. You don't want to squeeze the body of it like a Capri Sun and it squirt out some of the nasty bacterium in their mouth into the wound. Fight the urge to burn it with fire or throw it in the toilet. We recommend people to actually put it in a Ziploc bag. So in case you do start to exhibit symptoms or want to proactively send the tick in for testing, it's a great way to be additionally confident in what you're dealing with in case you perhaps, not everyone gets bullseye rashes or other known symptoms. So having that tick available for testing could perhaps help you and your primary doctor. But yes, it's usually an extended period of time. But with the Lone Star tick, a single bite from the Lone Star tick can result in the alpha-gal meat allergy. So it's another really important reason to try to keep track of the tick for testing if needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My cousin has alpha gal, so
Yes,
yeah.
we believe my brother does this as well in his disc
Oh,
golf days. Yeah.
I,
Just because you got ticks on you doesn't necessarily mean you need to be concerned. But again, if you have the same amount of backpacking clothes or gardening clothes or whatever you wear to go play sports at the local park, if those are treated with permethrin, ticks only need to crawl across about an inch to an inch and a half of it to start the dying process.
mhm.
There was a study done by the University of Rhode Island that showed you were more than 73 times, not percent, 70 times less likely to get bitten by a tick if you're wearing permethrin treated shoes and socks. So naturally, the more treated fabric you have around you, whether it's back patio furniture, maybe it's a blanket that you lay out in the park
Right.
for a picnic, that treated fabric will drastically improve your safety from ticks.
Absolutely. Okay, moms out there, kids are going to be going back to school. Spray the sneakers and let them dry.
Yeah. It's worth pointing out that you can actually use permethrin directly on your dogs as well. So it's another good thing to make sure that the dogs aren't bringing ticks back into your house. But since ticks do have an aversion to it while it's still wet, we want to make sure that when you're applying this treatment, you let everything completely dry before using and wearing it around cats. It'll be completely safe to use with Sawyer permethrin once the treatment is dried. I believe you might have seen one of my cats photobombed the interview a little bit earlier. I even have their cat beds treated with permethrin to make sure nothing sneaks in the house or the dog brings anything in. But yes, with Sawyer permethrin, once it's dried, it's completely safe to use and wear around cats. And similarly to the picaridin, very family safe.
Okay. I think we're going to break off now for commercial. And then when we come back, if there's anything else we need to go over, we can go over it then.
Splendid.
We'll be right back.
What makes for a perfect custom engagement ring? Truly understanding the elements that make a ring that's perfect for you. Custom by Colonial. The Colonial Jewelers box. There's just more in it.
All right, we're back after those two wonderful commercials, one for permethrin. So, yeah, I mean, I always wonder how do we get the everyday average person who doesn't have any idea to understand this? I mean, the population 3 times higher,
Yeah. Well, I think, that's part of the reason why we're having these discussions now is because it is becoming
Right.
more prevalent and it's in the news and it's being covered by New York Times. And this is, selling bug spray is a pretty boring industry, but
Right.
because of the growing concerns around it, people are actually more attentive and aware of the concerns. And so that's why we're, happy to be able to offer very cost-effective and very safe ways to stay protected. But yeah, that's part
Right.
of this whole shift in conversation is ticks are surviving elevations that they previously didn't. They're surviving temperatures that they previously didn't. So I think we're at the cusp of getting more and more funding towards research as we learn more and more about the growing concerns around vector-borne diseases and
Right.
the impacts of urban sprawl and urbanization and displacing these animals and whatnot. So
Right.
it's perhaps not an exciting conversation, but as people start to notice ticks more often, it makes them far more willing to engage in these types of conversations. So I think it's because of the growing popularity that the conversations are growing as well.
Right. Right. Yeah, I just also wanted to see. Now, do you have anything that is like geared towards the sports area? Because a lot of our communities are very sports oriented, you know.
Yeah, no. So all of our stuff can be safely worn while playing sports. We have a very breathable sunscreen formula. The topicals, like I said, we highly recommend the lotions. But yeah, if your uniform is treated with bug spray, that would cut down on the amount of topical you'd need. So yes, we're very sports oriented. We have a lot of current and former athletes on our team. My
Mm-hmm.
father was a collegiate sport athlete.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, whatever your outdoor enthusiasm is, we want you to be able to go safely do that and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if you're leaving the floor open for directions, basically we say we don't care where you buy our products.
Right.
We have a store locator if you want to hopefully find your local mom and pop shop. But whether we're at almost all the camping sections, whether you're talking, REI, Walmart, Bass Pro, Cabela's, Amazon is obviously a very popular retailer these days. But our most popular size is like a 24-ounce trigger spray bottle, and it'll
Mm-hmm.
treat 5 complete outfits. So it's a 4.5 ounces per outfit to last for 6 weeks. So it's a very cost-effective way to safely get outdoors without harming any of your gear.
Right.
And well, we recommend if it's hard to measure the actual 4.5 ounces per outfit. Basically, you just want to spray enough to see a color change in the fabric you're treating. There is a minimum threshold of effectiveness, so better to slightly over apply than under apply. That's why
Correct.
we say see a color change in the fabric. Same thing with the Preparedness. It works a little bit differently than DEET does, so you want to make sure that you get a sufficient application as opposed to under applying.
Right.
But yeah, just very accessible, high quality products, and no matter which retailer you purchase it at, hopefully you'll have the reviews and rankings to report back on our quality.
I have to say this right now. For all you teenagers and young people who are going out and doing mountain climbs and hanging out outdoors with your friends, relax. It is, you cannot smell this. You can go on a hot date after using this.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's part of what we pride ourselves is in our formula. And the outdoor industry is where we built our reputation. The long distance hikers that are hiking any of the big three or hiking, across country. These are the people that are literally relying on our water filters for their daily water. And depending on the location, a lot of them are also using our permethrin for the clothing and gear that they're literally wearing every single day.
That's great. That's wonderful. Okay, so I wanted to have everybody know that we want you to follow us. Everything Frederick Live. There's lots of different podcasts, and all is for the community. Sawyer is, we would probably love to interview you at any given time because you've got a lot to offer for the community as well. And so everything Frederick Live, Frederick TikTok, I want you to click that button to subscribe and ring that bell. Just tap that bell, okay? So that way Travis and I can talk to you on a regular.
Yeah, and you don't miss any updates.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We really want to protect our families.
Yeah.
So, and we love the outdoors. I mean, there's nothing like watching the sunrise over the mountains in Maine or in Montana, and then there's nothing like it at the ocean. So, and don't forget, there are ticks at the ocean too. So, take that bug repellent.
Yeah, as I say, I'm fly fishing is my first love. being able to wet wade out here in Michigan in the summers and 72-degree waters, catching smallmouth. That's where you can catch me after work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Travis, I got to say thank you so much for coming on today. And I am so happy to be partnered up with you again.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. And we appreciate you helping us spread awareness around how to safely still get outdoors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful time for the rest of your day.
You've been listening to the Tick Talk Podcast, hosted by Christina Murphy. If this episode informed, inspired, or helped you better understand Lyme disease, take a moment to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Your support helps these conversations reach the families and communities who need them most. As always, you can watch all past episodes on the Everything Frederick Live YouTube channel.
This episode is a proud production of the Everything Frederick Live Podcast Network, your home for Frederick's best podcasts, streaming daily on YouTube.